What if I told you that the very thing keeping you awake at 3 a.m., that knot in your stomach when you think about tomorrow, that constant whisper telling you you're not enough, what if all of that could be silenced? Not temporarily, not with another self-help trick, but completely transformed. Right now, in this moment, there's a truth that could change everything for you. And I'm not talking about positive thinking or manifesting good vibes. I'm talking about a divine promise that has the power to shatter every chain of fear you've been carrying. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover isn't just information, it's liberation. Let me ask you something honest. How much of your life is being controlled by fear right now? Maybe it's subtle. You don't even call it fear anymore. You call it being responsible, or being realistic, or just being careful. But underneath all those reasonable labels, there's something deeper, isn't there? Here's what most people don't realize. Fear doesn't usually announce itself with flashing lights. It creeps in quietly. Through a difficult childhood moment that taught you the world isn't safe. Through a relationship that ended and convinced you that you're not worthy of love. Through that failure that keeps replaying in your mind like a broken record. And our culture, it's practically engineered to feed fear. Turn on the news, crisis after crisis. Scroll through social media. Everyone else seems to have it all figured out, while you're barely holding it together. The economy, health scares, political division, climate anxiety, the list goes on. But here's the truth bomb. These experiences don't get to write your story. The enemy of your soul wants you to believe they do, because a fearful person is a paralyzed person. A person living in constant anxiety is too distracted to step into their divine purpose, too exhausted to hear God's voice, too overwhelmed to make the impact they were created for. Fear is a liar, and it's time we called it out. Now, let's get real about something. Most of the fears you're carrying, they're illusions. I'm not saying your feelings aren't real. They absolutely are. But the threats fear whispers about, most of them never come to pass. Research shows that 85% of what we worry about never actually happens. And of the 15% that does, we handle it better than we feared. So why does fear have so much power? Because we believe it. We give it authority in our lives. We let it sit in the driver's seat, making decisions about our relationships, our careers, our faith, our future. Think about it. That thing you're afraid of right now, has it actually happened? Or are you suffering through a scenario that exists only in your imagination? Fear gets its power from one source, your agreement with it. And here's the revolutionary truth. The moment you stop trusting fear's whispers, its grip begins to break. When you refuse to let anxiety narrate your future, something shifts in the spiritual realm. But you can't do this alone. You need something stronger than willpower. You need something more powerful than positive thinking. You need a refuge. Scripture tells us something absolutely beautiful. God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Let that sink in for a second. Not God might be, or God could be if you're good enough. God is your refuge, present tense, right now, as you're listening to this. A refuge isn't a place you visit occasionally. It's your permanent dwelling place. It's where you run when the storm hits. It's where you find safety when everything around you is chaos. It's where you rest when you're exhausted from fighting battles on your own. And here's what makes this refuge different from anything else. It's based on your character. His goodness doesn't change with the stock market. His control over your life isn't threatened by political elections. His love for you isn't diminished by your mistakes. His plans for you aren't canceled by your past. This peace isn't something you earn through perfect Bible reading or flawless prayer time. It's a gift extended to you freely, waiting to be received. The question isn't whether God offers you refuge. The question is, will you enter it? Now, let's talk about something most of us struggle with: the control trap. You know this game, right? You think, if I can just control this variable, manage that outcome, prepare for every possible scenario, then I'll feel safe. So you overthink, you overplan, you try to anticipate every potential problem. And how's that working out? Are you more peaceful or more exhausted? Here's the brutal truth. You were never meant to carry the weight of controlling everything. That's God's job, not yours. When you try to control circumstances to avoid fear, you actually create more anxiety. Because deep down, you know you can't control it all. There will always be something unexpected. Someone who doesn't cooperate with your plan. A situation that refuses to be managed. True peace doesn't come from perfect control. It comes from strategic surrender. Surrender isn't giving up. It's not being passive. It's actively choosing to trust that God's got this. It's taking your hands off the wheel and letting the one who created the universe navigate your journey. I know that sounds terrifying at first, because control feels safer than trust. But think about this. How many sleepless nights have you spent trying to control things that were never yours to control in the first place? What if instead of exhausting yourself with control, you rested in trust? What if you believed that the God who holds galaxies in place is fully capable of holding your life together? Let me speak directly to some fears that might be gripping your heart right now. If you're afraid of losing someone you love, I hear you. That fear is rooted in real love. But don't let the fear of future loss steal the joy of present connection. Love them fiercely today. God sees your heart, and He's promised to walk with you through every valley, including grief. If you're paralyzed by fear of failure, listen closely. Your mistakes are not your identity. God is in the redemption business. What you see as failure, He can use as a foundation for something greater than you imagined. Every setback is a setup for a comeback when God's involved. If you're battling fear of rejection, you need to know this. There is one whose acceptance of you is unconditional and unchanging. People may walk away, but God never will. His love isn't based on your performance. You are fully known and fully loved. If you're worried about provision, the God who feeds the birds and clothes the flowers hasn't forgotten about you. His resources aren't limited by your bank account or the economy. He's the ultimate provider, and He's got you. If the unknown future terrifies you, you don't need to see the whole staircase to take the next step. God's not asking you to figure it all out. He's asking you to trust Him one day, one moment at a time. So here's where we land. You have a choice right now. You can keep carrying fear like a backpack full of bricks, letting it weigh down every step you take. Or you can set it down at the feet of the one who said, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." This isn't a one-time prayer that magically fixes everything overnight. This is a journey. There will be moments when fear tries to creep back in. That's normal. That's human. But here's the promise you can cling to. God is patient with your process. He's not frustrated by your setbacks. Every small step toward trust He celebrates. Every moment you choose faith over fear, heaven takes notice. You are not alone in this battle. The Creator of the universe is your refuge, your fortress, your constant protector. Nothing, and I mean nothing, can separate you from His love. So take a breath, let it out slowly, and say these words with me. God, I choose to trust You. I'm entering Your refuge today. Your transformation begins now.